you. But above all, his name is Honorable Bowman Bulldozer Lusambo. He is my guest on the program. And thank you so much for all the comments that came through our social media page. People asking, advancing your questions, and also comments. We appreciate you. And because of that, I will be forced actually to dive into the nitty-gritties of the discussion altogether. Honorable Lusambo, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Piri, and good evening, viewers out there. I'm happy that I'm here at this important platform. I'm not new to movie TV. We have been together in thick and thin, and I want to thank Almighty God for giving me this opportunity to feature on this important program this evening. And also want to thank my wife, Nancy Natasha Lusambo, my beautiful and handsome kids, Sibongile Lusambo, Kezia Lusambo, Shekaina Lusambo, Esther Lusambo, and Edgar Chilufya Lusambo. And also my friends who have been there for me in thick and thin. And I'm excited to face you, Mr. Piri, and I hope and trust that we'll have a very interesting interaction which the people of Zambia will benefit from. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable. And I was curious to hear more in terms of the appreciation to your family members and the likes. The moment you went talk about the Esther, the Edgar, the Nancy and the likes, I thought you would go further and appreciate also the Chipeko, for example, coming from Messi, Koham, Matongo, and the likes. And I'll get you into that discussion altogether. We'll begin from there. I know that we need to talk about the Kawata by-election, and also the trip by the president as well, who is the chief marketing officer of this country. But let's begin from there due to popular demand. If you checked our social media page, I think there was overwhelming response and the questions coming through you. The question I'll begin with, are you able to also appreciate the children you have or you are alleged to have fathered with Messi, Koham, Matongo? But before that, again, I need to be a little bit careful because this matter I know for sure that is in the court of law. So what I'm asking you is not a matter which is in court, but more like a response coming from your colleague, Chilufya Tayali, who is trying to simplify this process by challenging you that, Honorable Lusambo, why do you want to trouble a poor woman like Messi, Koham, and the children, or innocent children? Why can't you simplify it? Just go and conduct a DNA test.
Well, thank you very much, Innocent, and viewers out there. It's very interesting that you want me to answer this gentleman on the issue which I don't even know. I'm not a common guy, okay? I am a former minister for Lusaka province and former minister for Copperbelt province. I've been serving Kabushi constituency, and this is my second term. So answering to issues out there, I have to be very careful because I'm not just a common person, okay? Okay, I've been a government official of this beautiful republic of Zambia. And when you start answering to pigs and dogs, people will start wondering, who's this person, okay? So for me, it is very difficult for me to answer that gentleman because his caliber and my caliber, they are two different things. I have a fixed abode. Innocent, you know where I stay, isn't it? If I ask you, if you can tell me where that person stays, you will be wondering, where? Okay? That is the distinction between us. So for me to answer to the general public, I need to be very careful and the person I'm responding to. I can't just be responding to the Jim and Jack. You see what I mean? I'm not a common person, okay? I'm a leader in this country, and I can't start doing churches with each and every dog you see in the street. I can't do that. Yeah.
And who's a dog in this case?
I don't know.
Because the only person that has come out challenging you is chilufya, president of the Economic and Equity Party.
I don't know.
Again, I think let's base the merits of his arguments. That why do you want to prolong this case when you can actually even withdraw, even as you are waiting for the court to adjudicate? You can conduct a DNA test.
Innocent, I'm not a stranger to this country, okay? And I'm not an non-entity in this country. As Eri alluded to, I'm a leader, okay? And whatever things which I do my activities within the law. Despite that, I'm a born-again Christian, okay? I received Jesus Christ as my personal Savior in 1997. And since then, I know what is good and what is bad. I've been helping underprivileged people in this country. When you visited my office as a minister then, Lusaka province, I attended not to less than 200 people who were visiting my office nearly every day. I'm a family man with a beautiful wife, handsome and beautiful kids. I provide for my family and I provide for my kids. I also provide to my extended family. I also help out my closest friends. So for me, I do things within the law. So what I can just inform you is that I'm a married man and I don't have any kid outside marriage. Okay, I don't have. Okay, I don't have. I'm not an entity in this country. If I visit a market, people identify me. My house in Ndola, people, they know where I have been staying. In Ndola, I've only stayed at one resident in Kabelenga 26. Okay? And for me, I started politics at a tender age. During my tenure as die-hard national coordinator, the entire country knew who die-hard was. I can never stay at any secret home without people knowing and identifying that there is Rusambo staying here. I started serious politics in 2013, 2014. And I've been with a very huge team. So for me, I can't answer issues which you have brought to me from the person I don't know, and the person who's speaking, we don't even know that person, okay? The so-called person who wanted to challenge me, can you just dig his history? All of us have got the history, have got back where we're coming from, the background. Can you go and dig out my history and compare the two? We're totally different people. It's not easy for me to be in that office of the minister, not only Lusaka province, but Copper Belt province, two big provinces, the anchor of the national economy, both administration and the national coffers. So for me, answering those people, I can't do it because I'm not at their level. Unless you tell me to answer President Hakainde Hichilema, because that is where I'm going. That is where I'm going. Those are my levels. So for me, I can't start lowering my status by answering to people who doesn't even matter in this country. They don't matter. They don't matter. Yeah.
Don't you think that, Honorable, this whole ordeal really may be jeopardizing your Christianity, which you claim that indeed you are a born-again believer?
Not at all.
You know, because a Christian, you cannot abandon innocent children out
That's why
there.
I'm saying I've got only 5 kids.
Right.
And they're at home. My kids are at home. Very comfortable. And they get what they want from me. And my wife gets what she wants from
How
me.
possible that someone can just wake up from nowhere and comes to single pick me as IP that you are the father of these 2, 3 children? Out of all the journalists we have in this country,
Exactly.
and out of you, who is a former provincial minister, none of the former ministers have been accused
And
before
for me,
with such kind of allegations, huge allegations, sensitive allegations.
For me, it's not happening for the first time.
Right.
It's not happening for the first time. Bowman's name is big, huh? Bowman's name is not a small name in this country. Bowman's name is big, very big, okay? And people would want to use it in the right way and in a bad way as well. This is not the first time these things is happening to me. When I was the minister for Lusaka province, there was a person in Eastern province who was Bowman Lusambo, getting money from people, getting money from big businessmen. And I was called by one businessman called Kavla Mungu, that there's a person who has been coming to me. He called me that it's Bowman. And his trucks, I think, have a problem in Great East Road. And he needed some money. And Kavla Mungu, knowing me, knowing that this name is big, that money was released. And we thank Minister Makebi. By then he was a minister for Eastern Province. He managed to con that person with the Eastern Province Police Commissioner, the late Mr. Sakara. So for me, this thing is not happening for the first time. So I'm not even moved. I'm not shaken. I'm not. They don't call me bulldozer for nothing. They don't call me bulldozer for nothing. I know what I do.
Do you feel disappointed that a person who is claiming to be your close friend, like President Chilufya Tayali, he has mentioned here,
Don't
he has
misuse.
come here.
Don't misuse the names of presidency. President who?
Of course, he's running a political party.
Which political party?
EEP.
I don't. I can just seek seekers there. Only seekers. Okay. He's not my closest friend. He was just feeding from me. He was been at my house getting money. I have been feeding him. I gave him money to go and marry that girl in Ethiopia. It's me who bought the ticket. It's me who bought the ticket. So don't misuse those names. Don't. Just a circus, man. So for me, I'm not moved.
And you're not disappointed at all?
I'm not disappointed. Who doesn't know that young man? Who doesn't know him in this country? Who doesn't know that young man? Who doesn't know him?
Because what is correct here, and he has confessed, I think several times he came for a TV program here, he said, Honorable Lusambo is my very good friend.
He's not my friend.
He's my very good friend. But
My friends,
I cannot show the wrongs that he's doing.
My friends are people who come to me. They get part of my story. They get information from me. If there's something wrong, they advise me. Those I call them my friends. I
want us to move away from this subject altogether. Yeah. But finally, Chilufya Tayali is saying, let's assume that Mercy Koham Matongo, she's mad, for lack of better ways, because madness again has to be quantified, you know, through the doctors and the likes. But let's assume that she's mad. How can a mad person really come and
this job
accuse Honorable Sam?
This job altogether, first of all, as I earlier alluded to, that this is not the first time these things is happening to me.
Yeah.
okay? It's not the first time, okay? And this job is not for that young man. This is the job for police. The police, they have departments, they have victim support unit. This is the job for women's lobby. This is the job for legal aid. This is the job for now. It has reached at the level of judiciary, the courts. That is not a job for that excited young man. That is not his job. That is not his job. That is not his job. Ababembe batila tinsansa shinyo obulanda. Efiranda ababembe tinsansa shinyo obulanda. Efiranda ababembe.
How would you defend the allegations that possibly you've also gone out there to hire people to begin to claim ownership of those children? Is it true?
In the first place, I've never claimed.
And, remember, Tali also brought out these issues yesterday.
In the first place, I've never claimed any child in this country. I've never claimed any child in this country because I know my family at home. I have kids, my kids, who are very comfortable, and they get what they want from me, and I have a very beautiful. Have you seen my wife? Have you seen my wife?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. If you are next to my wife, just a perfume of my wife can pay lentils for other people. You see what I mean? So I can't fail to look after my kids. My kids are there at home, very comfortable, and we live happily, actually. So for me, when you see me quiet, I'm not a common person. I'm not like these lumpens. I'm a leader in this country. I can only talk about real issues, the issues which is affecting the people of Zambia, not those circus. That's a circus, man. That's a circus.
Thank you so much, Honorable Lusambo. We've spent about 20 minutes discussing this issue altogether, but we'll continue monitoring not until the final verdict is passed through the courts of law. Now, let's get into the political happenings in our country. You've been in the opposition in the last 5 months since Zambians punished you, the periodic front, to be out of office. And I'll ask you how the atmosphere has been, in that already the New Dawn government has demonstrated the leadership which they promised while in the opposition. And one of the things is the free education policy already that some of you really never believed when you were in the ruling party. Each time the UPND and the President and each them talked about free education, you said that was a fallacy, that was a taboo. Here we are. Free education from grade 1 to 12. What could be your take? Money has already been released by the UPND. We're talking about 198 million kwacha.
Thank you very much, IP, and the viewers out there. First of all, Zambians, they didn't punish the PF. Zambians punished themselves.
In which way?
By removing a progressive party, a progressive leadership, which was there to transform this country, and bringing in a political party which is just there without any agenda. The issue to do with the free education, I have relatives right now who have been calling me that they need money to pay for school fees, okay? At a school where the school fees was at 1,200 kwacha, this government, they have just removed the 200 kwacha. The 1,000 kwacha, it's you, parents, who are supposed to pay for that gap. So what type of free education is this? I was privileged to go through Dr. Kaunda's free education. In grade 1, when my father took me to school, we just went to school with shoes, socks, and uniforms. Everything, the books, pencils, rubbers, and these other things, were given at school. Right. And the school was subsidizing on our user fees and these other things. Nothing. We were not paying anything. But this free education for UPND, it is very strange free education. Very strange. And we want the people who benefited from Kaunda's free education to come out and tell our young men and women what it means to have a free education in the country. 2, this same money which you are saying they have released, this government, they are trying to show off. They don't have money. They don't have money. I was here last time when you told me that no, this government, they are going to give you 25.7 million kwachas, CDF. I told you that they can't do it. They have no capacity. I told you here. I told you that not these people. They have no capacity. True to my words. The 198 million you're talking about is the bursary and the, you can let me say the bursaries. It is part of the CDF, isn't it? How can you plan as a manager? How can you plan? How can you run your institution? Today they give you 1 kwacha. Tomorrow they come and give you 2 kwacha. The other day, they don't have plan for free education. They are just joking, these guys. And now they are even destroying the traditional way which we are doing in education, where we used to go through PTA, user fees, and these other things. It will be very difficult for us again, when we come back in 2026, to go back to the normal way of conducting our education system in this country. It will be very difficult because they are trying to destroy it. They are trying to destroy our education system in this country. So for me, there's nothing to appreciate here. There is nothing to appreciate here.
The UPND has already started. And
there is nothing to appreciate
here.
The
distribution or the donation of books, pencils, and the likes, you know, which you benefited under the Kaunda administration. But Honorable, this could be just a start. You never know what is happening that will come in the future.
I want to see. Look here.
This is my question. You spent 10 years in government without really completing the payment of all retirees we're talking about in this country. Not diverting really to this discussion altogether. But the UPND has been only within the 2 months they were in office, they managed to raise money for the retirees. You know, how do you call the free education, which has already started, as a scandal?
Go and visit these schools and call the parents. Let the parents talk to the nation and see if there will be one parent who will say, twatotera government kisendo twaresende kyakulipira ma school fees nomba kyafumako kuli ifwe kiri kuli. Go and do the survey. Go. There's nothing like that. There is nothing like that because of the parents there. They are struggling right now. They are struggling to put together monies to pay for school fees. They are struggling right now. The parents who are sending their learners into boarding schools, they are struggling right now. So for me, don't lie. Don't lie. Okay? As government, just call a spade a spade. That's all. The issue of retirees. Our Minister of Finance then, Minister Bwaryangan, he was about to release the money for retirees. It was there. When we sat in cabinet, he was reporting to the president, then Edgar Chagwa-Lungu, and the money was there to give to retirees.
You never released the money. You never released the money.
No, the timing.
That's what the issue is.
You know, as we are not, we don't work to show off. We are not working to show off. We are working to uplift the living standards of our people. The retirees, they are not 6 in this country. They are not 7. There are thousands of retirees in this country. Thousands of them. Go to that ministry, go and ask Felix and Stumboke Msokotwane if they have paid all the retirees in this country. They have not paid all the retirees in this country. They have not paid all the retirees in this country. It's a lie.
Then the process.
The process, all governments, they're in the process. Even Chiruba was in the process, he was paying the retirees. Manawasa was paying the retirees. Rupia Banda was paying the retirees. SATA was paying the retirees. His Excellency Lungu was paying the retirees. Even them, they are paying the retirees. But they have not paid all the retirees. That's wrong. It is not correct. It's a lie.
That's according to your opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's not an opinion. Go back to the Minister of Finance. Go and ask Stombeko Msokotwane. Go and ask the Mr. Felix. And go around this the city, Lusaka. You find that even today, people are fighting with the acting Secretary to Cabinet, Comrade Patrick Kangwa. They want their money. So if your president, our president, is saying we have paid the retirees, who are those retirees who are troubling Patrick Kangwa at Cabinet Office? Who are they? Are they coming from heaven? Are they coming from heaven? They haven't paid all their retirees. They have just started paying some of the retirees. So let them put the correct statement. Okay? They should not make a statement to show the people that, oh, this one is a messiah. It is very dangerous in politics. Huh? It is very dangerous in politics to make the blanket statement. Very dangerous. Because today you can make a blanket statement that we have paid the retirees. Tomorrow, thousands of the retirees will pop up and they will say, we haven't been paid. How are you going to look as a president? They will call you a liar.
How would you measure the UPNG in the last 5 months or 4 months in the office so far, in as much as governance is concerned, vis-a-vis how the fight against corruption is being done, coming from a regime, the Pedro Front, where you were accused that you were one of the most corrupt, government altogether, and also ministers. You, in particular, you are in court today because you were accused that you built numerous houses out there. Yeah. Really?
Those are the statements which I've been talking about. Blanket statements. And now, when it's time to prove to the people of Zambia, then you start shunning now. No, it's this and this. Let me tell you one thing. Government money, it is protected money, very secured money. There is no one who can steal government money. A politician, for that matter, he cannot steal government money. Not even Chushika Sanda can steal government money. Not even Garin Kombo can steal government money. Not even Jack Mwimbu can steal government money.
But you've been accused that you stole. You yourself, you've been accused you stole.
The reason why I'm telling you that government money, there's no one who can steal government money. That's where I'm coming. Accusing politicians that they steal government money, it's wrong. Very wrong. It's not right. Okay? And this thing is happening, especially in our country, just for political reasons. Political reasons. If I take you to ministry, to provincial administration and do the audit at provincial administration and show the people of Zambia where Bowman stole from Lusaka province or Copperbelt province, you won't do it. You won't do it. Because as a minister, we don't sit in a tendering committee, we don't sit in procurement committee. We are not there. We are not there. We don't even, there's nothing that we do. Especially as provincial ministers. You know that provincial minister position is just ceremonial. We go to funerals, We go and see a debt in Lusaka. We go and block drainages somewhere. We go and inspect how the maize are coming up in the districts. That is our job. That is the job of the provincial minister. That's the job. We don't sign checks there. Nothing. Okay? And we need to change the narrative, okay, of painting politicians that they are corrupt. In the actual sense, they are not. Okay? They are not. And I was very disappointed to see the president accusing his ministers that they have started stealing. And I want to know from the president how his ministers have started stealing. From which ministry?
The how can be answered. The how can he answer it even here myself?
How?
The how, he made it clear that it is a clique of thieves that are teaching his ministers how to steal. That's the how.
Which clique of thieves? Because
you know,
a thief, he can. There's no one who can teach you how to steal. If you are stealing, you're just a thief. Okay? If you are stealing, so the president has made that serious statement, and we want to see how he's going to handle those criminals, ministers in his cabinet. And we are waiting. We want to see them being fired, because it is not just enough for the president to just announce that I have ministers in my cabinet who are criminals. It is not enough. Fire them. Fire them. So for me, Mr. Piri, it is not possible, actually. It is not possible for a politician to touch government money. It is not possible. It is not possible because we are very far from government resources. Very far. Very far. And this institution you see, especially in the province, even the funding, you can have a budget of 30, 40 million kwacha as your allocation for maybe a first quarter or second quarter. The Ministry of the Treasury, they will give you maybe 500,000 kwacha, 1 million kwacha, 2 million kwacha, and these 2 million kwacha, you have to share this money, the entire province, the district commissioners, and other departments within the province. How can you steal money, Shua? From where? It is not fair, actually. It is not fair.
Right.
It is not fair.
Sambo, I hope also you do realize the pressure you've mounted on the president in the Hitchem, in as far as restructuring the economy is, and also just the governance, circles altogether. Looking at the mess that you left at the patriotic front, and in an attempt to bring back the rule of law, in an attempt to remedy the economy, which is on its knees right now, we have seen the president canvassing, moving up and about across the world to engage other possible, investors to come and help restructure this country together, which you damaged on the patriotic front. The president has spent 2 days in South Africa already. While it's there, of course, to engage, other leaders on how Zambia can again regain the confidence which Zambians had, and the international community as well. What could be your take on the trip by the president?
First and foremost, IP, it is wrong, actually, for you and the UPND to claim that under the 7-10 years rule of PF, the PF has destroyed the economy of this country. It is wrong. The people who destroyed this country is a group of the president. President Hakainde Hichilema, when he was part of privatization. You remember when IMF came to our country? IMF came to kill this country. The reason why we don't want IMF in this country, because we still have fresh memories of 1990s. All the industries, factories, which President Kaunda and the team labored for, everything was destroyed under that period of IMF. Where was President Hakainde Hichilema? He was part of the IMF teams. Those who were negotiating between government and IMF, he was there. And from that time, we have never recovered as a country. We have never recovered as a country. We have never recovered as a country. When you come to Ndola, Ndola was the hub of the Copper Belt province, full of industries. The reason why my people in Kabushu constituency today, they are struggling not having jobs, it's because of the IMF program of 1990. The effects are still here. The industry is there, it's gone because of IMF. So, tell me the company which was sold under the watch of PF, especially President Edgar Chagwa. Tell me. But I can assure you and challenge you that under President Sata even grabbed Rap Green, which was gone. He grabbed Rap Green back to Zamtel. How can you claim that this country was destroyed by PF? It is not true. President Hakainde Hichilema and the team, they know what they did during privatization. So for me, I can assure you that this country, we are here today because of IMF. We are here today because of IMF.
You seem to
We
have issues
can't,
with IMF, right?
IMF, if it was in a village, those are witches. If it is in the village, they are witches. They have nothing in their mind but killing. We don't have any more grave sites here in our country. And IMF, they're just supposed to know that. We don't have. Our parents have died because of IMF. They have died without getting their monies. Our brothers and sisters, some of them, they went in the streets because there was no food at their homes, because the parents who were working were retrenched, and the companies which they used to work for, they couldn't even afford to pay their parents. They failed to go to school. They ended up in the streets. Those are IMF effects. We don't need IMF here. We don't need IMF. Those boys and girls in Washington, putting their heads together, they can't match Magande, Dani Kariaria, Patrick Mvunga, Fundanga, Musokotwane. We put our people with economists, accountancy, banking and finance. We put them together. We can't match with those boys and girls in Washington. We can't.
But it was those boys and girls that
exactly, and
those the Patriotic Front, wanted to date.
We wanted to date them. We wanted to date them, but we were not
package from IMF.
We were not pleading.
Which they refused because of
they
carelessness.
They didn't. That is wrong.
Financial indiscipline.
That is wrong. That Minister of Finance you are seeing, Minister of Finance, former Minister Bwaryangan, is a very proud man. If you are discussing with him the issues to do with IMF, he's a very proud man, very principled man. And that former president you are seeing, Edgar Chagwa, he has the heart for the people of Zambia. It's a pity that the people of Zambia, they missed the opportunity to see more good things under his watch. That man, you are seeing, he has the heart for the people of Zambia. The reason why we failed to signing is not a problem. We would have signed with all the conditions. The reason why we failed to sign, because some of the things which the IMF brought on the table, it was not making sense. It wasn't making sense. That's why we have challenged the IMF to give the people of Zambia the full disclosure of the conditions which they have agreed with the Zambian government. This is not a Musokotwane IMF affair. This is the affair between Zambians and IMF. It is Zambians to say yes, and it's Zambians to say no.
What is your take on the president's tour to South Africa?
First, the president Hakainde Hichilema is at liberty to move anywhere in the world. He is at liberty. He's the president of the country. He is at liberty to move. Now, the problem comes in when the president finds himself in the situation where he lies to the people of Zambia. Okay? That's a problem. That minister who's at Foreign Affairs, I hope the president could sleep nicely today in Zambia and fire that minister or transfer that minister from Foreign Affairs to any other portfolio, even in the province. One, we received a statement, press statement from Foreign Affairs that the president is going for 2 days working visit in South Africa. A 2 days working visit, that is an official visit. The entire security wing in Zambia, it was at the airport, red carpet. The president was giving a statement to the journalists. A very good statement. Immediately the president landed in South Africa. No red carpet, nothing. Okay? Nothing. He just came out like Bowman Lusambo going to Kabushi constituency in a GX. Okay? And we should not reduce the office of the presidency to that level. We should not reduce the office of the presidency to that level. That Kakuwo guy, he should know that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is not Kapirimposhi. Ministry of Foreign Affairs is not Kapirimposhi. Those senior technocrats at Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they would have been advising that minister. Let him advise the minister, and the minister should advise the president. That is our work as ministers. The president is supposed to get advice from us.
That sounds too personal.
It is not personal. It is embarrassing what happened in South Africa, where we saw the president posing with opposition political party leaders from other countries. How do we explain to Uganda? How do we explain to Zimbabwe? How are we going to explain it? How are we going to explain it? There are things that a president, a Republican president, should do and not do. When you are in that office, there are a lot of things that you should know that I can do this, I can't do this. It is very unfortunate that the president of the Republic of Zambia was seen having pictures with opposition political party leader from Uganda. Are you sure that my uncle, President Museveni, is happy that he has seen President Hakainde Hichilema with Bobby Wine? Are you sure he's happy? Are you sure that my elder brother in Zimbabwe is happy? My friend, in that's why
we've got South Africa, for example, Malema, who sits in parliament. So what's wrong with that, for example?
We have maintained a traditional way of friendship in our continent. We have maintained that traditional way of friendship in our continent. And those guys, Lemba at the PS at Foreign Affairs, she's a seasoned technocrat, supposed to know all this, supposed to advise the minister, and the minister is supposed to advise the president, sir, no, we can't do this, we can't do this, we can't do this. And that function for the president to move from Zambia to go to South Africa just for a book, the book launch. Ibuku feridi nefe book Jeritandi Mlenga. Ibuku. Because he's a Republican president. In fact, he would have extended an invitation to